But that's the whole point of this channel, is I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Not the Taj Mahal, it's just a goat stall, right? Okay, so I've done some sketches of this project for the goat house. I'll put this in the link of the video description, but this is my best guess of the materials I'll need. What I believe we'll land on would be these 4x4 posts. This is about 16 feet across, 8 feet deep. We're gonna have a slight pitch. These posts in the back are about 63 inches. These will be about 53. And then I'm gonna use some 2x6s on the ends, bolt them on. Then I'm gonna run 2x4s across, and I'm gonna put these panels, these 8-foot aluminum panels on the roof. So that's what we'll see. The big decision I need to make is if I'm gonna put a third brace post here, a third 4x4, and a third 2x6, and then you know, add that on. I think I probably will, and I'll actually, if there was a third post here, I'm gonna put a gate on one side and boards on the other side. All right, so let's go to Home Depot and pick up all this stuff. All right, first up, I'm gonna get 2 of these 4x4 by 12 foot posts. All right, next we're gonna get these, the 2x6 by 16. I'll end up cutting that in half for the side braces, which you see right there. And then right next to it are the 2x4 by 16s. So I'm gonna get 6 of those right here, which are basically these, gonna be horizontal in my sketch, braces. As you can see, I only have 4 of them in the sketch, but I'm going to get 2 extras just in case I want them on the sides or any extra support on these posts. So we'll get 6 of those. So 2 of these, 6 of those. That'll scratch this off. Then we're mostly going to get the panels, screws, and potentially some sideboards. It's 1/2 inch by 6 by 8s. All right, so here are the panels. I almost made a critical error in my math. I actually only had us needing 6 panels, but we needed about 8. We got 9 just to be safe. They're really thin, way thinner than I thought. So, and then right here in the same section of Home Depot, we've got these screws. So we did some math. We're gonna do 100 of these. Now we just gotta get bolts, concrete, pebbles, screws, and zip ties, and we'll be out of here. All right, here we are. We'll get this loaded up and head to the farm. Okay, we've made it to the barn. We're gonna start unloading. So the first thing we're gonna do is measure this out, get it to the center, which we've deemed is about 8 feet and 1/4 inch. I'm gonna mark that so that I can cut this in half. And these boards then will let me confirm that these panels are the right length, because that's essentially going to be the side braces of the roof. All right, those are our end posts. All right, ready, gentlemen? All right, so we have all of our pieces cut here, and the goal for today is just to get the posts in the ground with concrete, and then we'll pick back up on the roof framing.
What we're going to do here. That's it? That's what you want? Yes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're ready to go. Yeah, we do. I think I'll
I'll give it one more week. Maybe we meet with Bruce and Princess. All right, so it's not perfect, but we use the string, just like in the fence video, to try to eyeball it and get the, you know, the tops of the posts pretty even and leveled out. I'm sure there's a more precise way to do this, but we prefer just taking a look and seeing if it looks okay. Not the Taj Mahal, it's just a goat stall, right? All right, great. So this is the last post. We'll get the concrete in, let these sit overnight, and then we'll keep it going. Okay, day 2, welcome back. So we're gonna check on these posts and see if the concrete helped them set in place. And then we'll get started drilling the brace boards for the side. Yeah, not good at all. So we did this with the fence project too. We underestimated how much we should bury in the ground. I think a rule of thumb is about 2 feet at least. And these are not that. So we'll hope the concrete holds. I think once all the boards are on, it's gonna really keep it together, but yeah, I'd rather even have no concrete and more posts buried than not enough. So we'll see what happens here. What I'm doing now is I'm actually gonna get all 3 of these brace boards up. Just let them sit in place and try to get the pitch of each of them in line. So that's my strategy. I'm sure there's a better way to do it. But that's the whole point of this channel, is I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm learning as I film myself. So here we go. All right, so a tip that I want to share, something I just learned figuring this out as I go. I wasn't exactly sure how to get these different roof braces, trusses if you will, all the same pitch without some kind of, you know, angle measuring methodology or tool. And so what I did is I just eyeballed it. I started and put a screw here to just hold it in place. And then I decided, okay, let me measure the height off the post here, and down here, I said, let me measure the height off the post here. And basically we were at about 3 inches and 2 inches back there. So I followed that process throughout all 3, kind of getting them in place. Made sure they look pretty good from just looking at them. And then the final step was utilizing this level. I took a 2x4, the 16-footer across the full span. And what I was doing is I was checking to make sure this was level. I would then bring it down to this side, check this area, nice and level. And then I actually brought this forward. So I drug this entire 2x4 and the level up. I checked the same 2 measurements kind of in the middle, and I checked them again here. What I noticed is on that end, I started to get off level. So I started to manipulate the screw in this area, get that adjusted, and it fixed it. And so now I feel that we are level across the board. It looks nice to the eye. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start getting these roof braces drilled in. Okay, we are back. It is a hot one today. I am laying out all of the roof panels, and I was doing this without screwing them in, just to make sure I have the right amount and it looks nice, which it does. I also just leaned this gate up against that opening to visually just check, make sure that it'll fit. And so now the next step, I'm gonna go ahead and screw these panels in. Never done this before, so we will try that out. And then the last step of the project eventually will be to put some 1/2-inch boards as siding, because the goal will be that the animals can be locked in here if they need to at night, if we need to use it if one of them is ever sick. But overall, I think it's gonna be great for shade and all the other uses. Okay, so now we're gonna start the overlapping of this panel into that panel. And I've read that you can do, you know, a couple notches or just one. I'm gonna start with just one right there. Like that. And this will be the first time I'm screwing a screw through both parts. There we go. I don't want to over tighten. I just want them to be nice and snug, but not trying to bend the metal. Yep. Looking good. Okay, so we'll keep that going. I'm gonna end up pulling these panels off, bringing the ladder around. Okay, so we are finished up with this goat shelter. All in all, about $400 worth of materials, maybe a little more, and 2 days worth of work. I think if we started in the morning, we could have got it done in a single day. And the only thing was the posts. We wanted to get those set in the concrete overnight. Yeah, is it perfect? Absolutely not. But will it work for what we need? Yes, it will. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll put in the description all the materials, things I did, any other tips, so maybe you can reproduce this on your property. And if this was interesting, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, follow along. We're gonna be posting stuff like this all the time here on our channel. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.